Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday. It is the 9th day of February, 2022. I hope you're all healthy and COVID-free today. I hope your family is also healthy and COVID-free. I hope that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and the first responders who are trying to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage for us, keep streets and sidewalks clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries for our convenience. And double blessings on those trying to help to recover and rescue the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, of pornography and child pornography, child molestation and pedophilia, sex trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the profiteers, perpetrators, and perverts who traffic in this human misery. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children today without a roof over their head in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom, and on those that are trying to help. I am very happy on days like this that I start off my videos like this, because it reminds me that there are way more serious and important things in the world than basketball, especially today. The New York Knicks played last night in what I consider the worst loss of the season. It wasn't just the score. It was 132 to 115. It wasn't the score so much. It was the stupidity of a coach that I greatly respect in Tom Thibodeau. I remember the night that Bernard King's career was, for all practical purposes, ended. The Knicks were playing at that time what we now know as the Sacramento Kings. At that time was called the KC Omaha Kings. And they played in Kansas City and Omaha, Nebraska. Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska. And it was a game, I don't remember what quarter it was. It was late in the game, though. And somebody from KC Omaha had a fast break. And Bernard King was chasing the guy in the fast break. There was no way he was going to catch the player. But he came and he was hustling anyway. And he went to try to block the layup and came down awkwardly. And it was one of those stomach in your throat moments when he went down. And you were hoping it wasn't as bad as it looked. And it was. He would never be the same player again. And at that time, he was playing at an MVP level. And it wasn't much longer after that, maybe a season or two, that the Knicks drafted Patrick Ewing. And who knows what would have happened, in that scenario. But it reminded me last night of that because the Knicks were down a couple of times, more than 20 points, 25 at one point. Bones Highland, who, he's our version of Emmanuel Quickly, basically. He was embarrassing us. Okay. And it was a game where you want to use your as much of your bench as you can. But of course, Thibodeau plays his starters. And he did, let me give him some credit. He went 5 deep last night. He had Sims, Toppin, Reddish, Burks, and Quickly all get, 14 minutes or more. So I have to give him credit there. But you're in a 25-point blowout loss and RJ hurts his ankle. That could have been an ACL. That could have been an MCL. And for what? For what? I was so mad. I'm still mad because it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. I could see being tough. I really can see being tough. I love that about Tim Thibodeau. He's tough. He makes his players tough, but then tough sometimes can border on plain stupid. Just plain stupid. Okay. And so, RJ Barrett played 35 minutes. He probably should have played 10 minutes less than that. Julius Randle also, I mean, Julius Randle is probably one of the toughest guys in the league because, I mean, just look at him. I'm surprised he broke his leg in his rookie year because the dude looks indestructible to me. I mean, he has definitely quirks in his game. We've seen bad attitude and all that, but in terms of physical condition, the dude is a tank. But it was ridiculous last night. Jericho Sims played 18 minutes. I was glad to see that. I would have liked to see some Deuce McBride. Tom kept rotating Burks and Quickly, and neither of them are point guards. Last night was a night we could have saw Deuce McBride. The only thing that's giving me solace is I'm really confident that a trade is going to happen. I'm very confident. I'm hoping it's Burks and Kemba, and I'm hoping also Evan Fournier is included. I'd like to, and I don't want anything back but expiring deals, because now you're going to force this tough old, sometimes stupid coach to play all of his youth. I would rather have seen all the young guys play last night. We could have at least played them for a half. That's how the game was going. Okay. And this is now traditionally going to Utah and going to Denver is always a problem for the Knicks. We've gotten our worst blowouts on that part of the road trip. And the reason is because both of these teams are at high altitude. And if you're playing them on a back-to-back, just going out there to play them and then 2 days later playing the other one will be tough because you're dealing with high altitude. But on a back-to-back, that was hard. That was hard to watch. It was one of the most difficult. I watched the game. I think I must have turned it off with 2 minutes left because I knew he was getting ready to put Deuce McBride in with like a minute left or 30 seconds. It was stupid. It was stupid. And I want to commend Deuce McBride. This guy, to me, his push for him, it doesn't make any sense. He pushed for him to come on the team, and he doesn't play him but for a minute in a blowout on the back-to-back the second night. He's playing Kemba Walker 22 minutes, and then it was frustrating watching him shuffle Kemba Walker, Alec Burks, and then Emmanuel Quickly. Here we go, Emmanuel Quickly, 2 of 9 last night, 0-5 from 3, -11. He scores 5 points. This dude is not a point guard. I don't care what anybody says. He's not. And you know what? He needs Derrick Rose to come back. He needs Derrick Rose to come back. Okay? And you could ruin a player like this. Look, again, let me give y'all some history. The Knicks drafted Bill Cartwright out of the University of San Francisco. Okay? He was like a number 1 pick, top 5 overall pick. I can't remember what number he was, but he was a top pick. And he was good. You know, he was good. He was what you would expect. In fact, later we know he would go to the Bulls and win like 2 or 3 rings. So they get the number 1 pick in like 84, 85, and they get Patrick Ewing. Okay. So now they got 2 big dudes. And so even then, I mean, I was in my 20s. I expected them to trade one of them because you know they weren't going to work together. But what they did instead is they tried to make Patrick Ewing into a forward. Yes, they did. I think it was Huey Brown. They tried to make Patrick Ewing into a power forward. And it was disastrous. It was a complete disaster. And Patrick Ewing was frustrated. And so soon after that, they traded Bill Cartwright. And I think that's when they got Charles Oakley for him. I think they got Charles Oakley in that deal. Which was a good trade, but it was ridiculous trying to play them together because he was obviously Patrick could shoot. He was one of the dominant centers in history, top 50 in the NBA history, rightfully so, but he was not a power forward. Emmanuel Quickly is not a point guard. Alec Burks is not a point guard. Let me tell y'all something real quick, man. Some of y'all are so bitter that you get mad when I mention either Frank Ntilikina or Miles McBride. I really don't care. It seems to me that this is your therapy in that regard. So if you need that therapy to vent because whatever you having problems in your marriage or whatever, okay, fine. But look, the Knicks drafted Miles McBride at the behest in part of Tom Thibodeau. Before you start looking at other point guards, De'Aaron Fox or DeJounte Murray or whoever, you should at least see what you have. And I don't want to hear he got his chance with 4 minutes and 40 seconds he gets pulled in Toronto. It's stupid. If he's a scrub, you got to at least let him play to show you he's a scrub. Some of y'all try to listen. I watched this kid's videos from high school to his freshman year to his sophomore year at West Virginia. Of course, there was the summer league. I do make mistakes. Like I made a mistake. I thought Larry Bird couldn't play. I did. Obviously, I was wrong. I make mistakes, right? I didn't think Danny Avdiva was going to be in the NBA very long. And even though he hurt his foot and he hasn't produced, I admit I was wrong now. I think he's better than I thought. Okay. But that's not all the time. I'm usually right on these things. I'm usually right. Some of y'all say, well, Frank didn't turn out. Well, Frank got mishandled. You could ruin a player's career. You mishandle him. You could do that. That's possible. It's happened to a lot of players. Okay. Especially in the beginning. It's like a child. If you don't raise a child right from birth to like 5 years old, sometimes you can't do nothing after that. Sometimes it's too late. I raised 4 of them. Believe me, I know. Okay. So the early years in the kid's NBA career is extremely important. And being mishandled and having different coaches and being on the outs all the time, that's not good, man. So here, we drafted Miles McBride, and in blowout losses, he's getting a minute. No, man. Trade all these veterans. At this point, that's the way I'm feeling about it. Only I'm going to keep Taj Gibson and Derrick Rose. If it's up to me, I'm trading all the vets. Get rid of all of them. And I'm replacing them with expiring deals, and I'm cutting them. When them dudes come back, I don't care who it is. It don't matter who it is to me. If it's expiring, I'm cutting them. And I'm going with the youth. Okay? And so that's the only thing that's keeping me half sane right now. And that I really believe that the Knicks are doing that. I believe that Leon Rose is going to trade at least Kemba Walker if he's tradable, and either Fournier or Burks. I would really like them to get rid of both of them. I don't care how well Fournier's shooting. Get rid of both of them. Okay? And I want to go with the youth. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So, and this, and let Thibodeau be grunchy and tough and Archie Bunker and all that on the youth. Let them play 35 minutes in the second half or back to back at a mile high altitude. Let them do that. Because that'll make them good. Okay? But last night was ridiculous. I'm watching this and I'm like, wait, they're down 25. What are you doing? And then I'm watching them shuffling between Burks and IQ, and neither of them are playing. The last 10 games, Emmanuel Quickley is averaging 6.9 points a game. He's shooting 24% from 3. This is last 10 games now. 27% from the field. He's getting 19 minutes a game. And Deuce McBride gets pulled after 4 minutes and 44 seconds and ain't seen the court since, really? Really? Nah. No. So, I want to see what happens between today. Now we got 24 hours, a little over 24 hours today. Maybe let's call it 36 hours between today and tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I want to see some movement here. This ain't working. And I'm not blaming Julius Randle. No. Julius Randle is like that kid that was spoiled. And that kid, I remember I grew up, I had my homies from around the way. There were 2 brothers. One of them was my age, and then he had a little brother. His little brother was named after the father, Junior. Right? Now, they were both from the same father and mother. But that older one, man, that father be ready to bash his head any moment for anything. When the little one would do something wrong, he would come back and bash the older one. You the oldest, back, And the older one say, I'd like to get this or that. Nah, you can't have that. The little one said, I want a mini bike next day. And it was like the little one couldn't do no wrong. And the older one couldn't do no right. Julius Randle's that little one. And he's that way because of Tom Thibodeau. Okay? I'm not saying he should be traded. I don't think they're going to trade him. Not until summer or next year. So that's fine. But that's not people earning anything. That's not holding anybody accountable. I mean, in anybody's mind, is that holding somebody accountable? I mean, y'all tell me, are you holding him accountable? Have all of these guys, like all of these guys that's playing, all of these minutes earned these minutes above the guys that are not playing? The Knicks are now 24-31. You would think you might want to change something. You're 24-31. You're 7 games below 500. And it's not getting any better. You got Golden State tomorrow night. Golden State, who are playing at championship level. Anyway, I'm going to stay cool. I want to see what happens by 3 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to stay cool. Because I'm telling you, this got to change. This got to change. And so, again, I'm looking for some trades. And it ain't about go and get whoever. Some of y'all let's go after. No, I ain't saying let's go after. Well, I'm saying let's go after my bench. Let's go after my youth. That's what I'm saying. Let's go after the guys we drafted. The only exception to that is Cam Reddish, who they just traded for. And he's 22 years old. And I'm glad last night he played 14 minutes. He got 2 points, whatever. But I want to see him get 20. I want to see him get 20 minutes every game like that. And Obi Toppin got 14 minutes like Cam Reddish. He scored 11. Obi was playing pretty good last night. He just only stayed on the court for 14 minutes. Evan Fournier, he was back and forth. He scored 21. He was doing the best he could. He had some good defensive moments last night. Evan Fournier had 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He had 3 steals. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. But that's not the point. That's what I'm saying to y'all. Whether he's shooting 40% from 3, whether he's getting 40 points, whatever, that's not the point. Evan Fournier is in his prime. And his prime is stopping Grimes. If we were 31-24, okay. But we 24-31. We're not even in the play-in. Okay? So, nah. I'm not going after nobody. I don't want DeJounte Murray. I don't want De'Aaron Fox. I don't want Jalen Brunson. I want to see what we got in Deuce McBride. You could go after any of these point guards you want to look at in the summer. You can look at it. Well, I don't know what the use is looking at a rookie. He don't play no rookie. So whatever y'all think as far as, I don't care who it is, Ivy or whoever you think it's going to be a player in the NBA. He ain't playing here. So forget that. I want to see Deuce McBride get some minutes. And I'm thinking, really am that the moves Leon getting ready to make are going to open up minutes for Cam and Deuce. That's what I'm thinking. And so, let's see if I'm right. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Y'all have a good Wednesday. Sorry to rant on y'all this morning, but I was in the ranting mood after seeing that crap last night. And then my boy RJ, you risking him in a blowout loss? Oh my God, no. I didn't see too much of that, man. Nah. All right. Y'all have a good day. Y'all be safe out there. Shalom.